Okay, everybody, welcome to Instant Customers Weekly Webinar. My name is Rick Dilliott. I am the Senior Support Manager for Instant Customer. I am with Gene Scally, in charge of all things boots on the ground, marketing extraordinaire. Today is episode number 12. And if you have never seen or heard of Instant Customer before, you're coming here for the first time, or maybe you just need a little refresher. Instant Customer is the fastest, easiest way to build your list, sell books, products, services, make money, build an intimate, authentic relationship with your prospects and customers, and all on autopilot.
It's an important part of the puzzle.
It's a huge part. Being able to automate whatever part of your process you can effectively. That's the name of the game, getting leverage, not having to do everything, what does Mike say? Everything you do more than twice a day, really try to automate it, you're just wasting your time.
Mike had some really interesting notes from a study he recently read that was done over at MIT. It said people who followed up with prospects within 5 minutes of meeting them had a 20% higher close rate.
He always says, speed is money, money is speed. Yeah. He's totally true on that. You want to make sure you get to people while you're still fresh in their minds, and then you've also got the research says you need to make between 6 and 9 contacts with people on average before they buy. Do as much of that on autopilot as you can, as makes sense. It doesn't make sense to automate everything, as we'll go into, like always.
Autopilot is the important part. All right, so if you don't have Instant Customer, you can get it now by going to instantcustomer.com/get-secret.
Special deal only for people that are watching this webinar, or maybe who have a friend that's watched one.
Right, and so this is a top secret link.
This is top secret.
So share it with everybody.
I didn't hear that.
I didn't say it.
But I'll say it again if we have to. It makes sense to.
So Rick, who's IC for?
Well, Instant Customer is for small business owners, authors, experts, speakers, consultants, and service professionals. Really anybody that understands that using traditional forms of advertising and marketing, like certain sort of colored pages book, or I don't know, if you want to spend massive amounts of money on newspaper ads that probably won't work, you're welcome to it. But really building your own list, getting leads from as many places as you can, not leaving any money on the table, marketing directly to that list, far and away the most effective use of your marketing dollar, no doubt about it.
I agree.
Better, you do it.
So here's what you're going to discover today. You're going to learn from the IC pros, that's Rick and I. We're going to talk about updates to earlier episode topics. So anything we've addressed in previous webinars, and plus a few new things, we're going to talk about the updates to it.
Yeah, I mean, there are some things that never change, but really everything is changing in some way, and in the kind of economy we're in, if you don't keep up, you get left behind.
Hosed.
That is another way to put it, yeah.
We will also take some of your questions, and at the end of our hour, Rick has special offers.
I do.
So before we begin, important to note that this webinar is being recorded, and you can always find past issues of webinars in your Instant Customer inbox. Look for the note that says webinars, and there's both a link in there to past webinars and a link for signing up for future webinars.
And big improvements coming up in the inbox over the next month or so keep an eye out for that.
Yeah, so you can get your replay there. I want to talk to people quickly about what makes a good question. Paul Colligan always says on webinars, the best questions are yes-no questions. There's some value to that. If you can phrase it as a yes-no, it'd be faster. You can get more questions in. But without yes-no questions, it's really important that you add the subject into your. Sorry, I'm just getting a question or feedback about our volume, so I'm trying to turn the volume up. But put the question into put the topic into your question, so that we skip around and we know what it is about, and it makes sense when we read the question and we give the answer.
Yeah, I'd say make sure that your question is a complete thought. We try to work them in where they make sense. Make sure that your question benefits the whole group. If you have an individual question, that's much better handled through the support ticket. Support system right now is swimming along. Most of the questions get answered the same day, usually within an hour or two. So try to do something that is general enough to benefit the group and in a complete thought, so that we can figure out what's going on if we get a bunch of our own. and have to go to that way.
So if you don't get notifications about these webinars and you want them, go ahead and text your name and email to 858-208-0989, and we'll get you on an automatic list that will remind you about these webinars. Just a quick note for anybody.
Yeah, not a lot, no marketing to those numbers, just a quick text reminder, I think 5 minutes before, and an email an hour before. I did send out one earlier today asking anybody if they had any questions that we hadn't addressed yet. If you do have that email, feel free to respond to it. That'll help us for the next webinar or two. If we're missing anything, we want to know it. We love the feedback. Really, we're doing these for you guys. So, if there's anything we can do better, or if there's specific questions you want answered, please let us know.
I want to take a quick moment here to address a question that came up on our last webinar. And somebody was asking about why they had to register for every one of these webinars. Just an FYI, we have disabled our own web conferencing system while we make some exciting new changes, and we're using GoToWebinar. And GoToWebinar is going to ask you to register for all of these events. So just a quick note there to anybody who is confused about why they have to register every week.
Yeah, I would say in general, you want to be able to track how many people came to each webinar, and just in general, tracking is really important to most clients. So it's not that big a deal. You just put in your name and email.
Right, so moving on. Tip of the week.
Tip of the week is a really good one and exciting new stuff. That's what this whole webinar today is going to be about, new things and updates to things we've covered before. So Jean, tell us a little bit about these short links.
Yeah, short links are a way to take a URL and make them shorter. We have a URL shortener built into Instant Customer now.
Yeah, it's our own
Right.
link. It's not an outside service. It is our own shortener. So
Right.
It's really cool.
And if you noticed, that showed up on Instant Customer last week. I'm going to talk about it for just a second, and then I'm going to turn it over to Rick so he can show it to you. But basically, it takes any URL you have, like the tall guy here, http www.longurl.com, and it shortens it like a bit.ly link, like the short guy, http bit.ly.
Yeah, some real huge advantages to using these. I mean, I really am going to recommend people use this as much as possible.
And these are perfect for things like text messages, because you have a limited number of characters in a text message. This will take a long URL and shorten it to something you can put into a single message without eating up your entire character space. And you can also use these like to send people to your Go link via a text message.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And going along with that is, this also hides the link. So anybody that's interested in white labeling the system and not showing Instant Customer inside any of their links, this is a perfect way to do that. These links are all tracked. I'm going to show, we're going to take a look at one right here, but every single click on one of these is totally trackable. Right.
I'm going to turn it over to you, Rick. Why don't you give us a show?
I'm going to go ahead and show.
And Hugh Taffel mentions that these are perfect for media attachments. You're right. Anything that has a big, long URL is perfect for this.
100%. Okay.
So right now we're looking at...
Okay, great. So this is just one of my campaigns. It's really the webinar, the campaign that we did last week. The Evergreen Sales Machine template, which is really fantastic. And just as a little, future pre-frame here, we are going to go into some of the... We're going to do recurring webinars next week, so this is exactly the one we're going to be using. Yeah, repeating recurring webinars. So if you're interested in that, this is a good one to get started on, take a look at. So
one change here that you might want to note is that Rick is looking at the links tab. It used to be called the QR tab.
Correct. So it is now called the links tab because it does both QR codes and links here. And if you take another look, this is something to go over with all of the tabs here in a bit, is that instead of having the toolbar on the right side, all of your options are now inside this little darker bar across the top. So as you can see, I've already made one of these links. I'm going to go through it in a second, but I'll take a look at one of the ones I've already done. And really, so here's my target. My target was just instantcustomer.com, and I created this miniature link here. This 0S4 is our domain. And any of these little short links are just going to show up like that. You can see I've already I actually clicked it once, regular. You can see that it's been scanned twice. The other one I did create a QR code, scan it with my phone, and it went right in. And the speed of which these are tracked are phenomenal. I really love it. Really, this is one of those things that this number right here, the number of clicks or the number of scans, is updated really almost instantaneously. It's a huge advantage. Really love it. So I'm going to go ahead and make one right now. Make a new short link. I'm just going to, first thing you do is just give it a name. I'm just going to make it test number 2. I'm going to make this go to, oh, maybe a traffic geyser. I'm just going to save this short link, and there it is. It's really that easy. This link now, all you have to do, and I'll show it to you in real time because it is that cool. I'm going to click it right here. This is going to go straight to trafficgeyser.com, our sister company there. Bam, really easy. If I come back here, do a quick little refresh on the screen. Go back to my links. Whoa. And you scroll down, you can see it already has tracked the number of scans to 1. So it's instantaneous. It does exactly what you need. It automatically does make a QR code. If you come on here, click the QR code, you can go get the one you want, and it will just generate a picture, and you can use that picture anywhere. It'll go right here, and it's automatically tracked right there. Of course, you can make your regular QR codes here. Now, we did have a question from the broadcast that somebody wants us to go deeper into QR codes.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah, we get to that later.
We have a discussion on that.
But yeah, they're both right there. But this new short link, no reason not to use it. You don't need the click URL link anymore. If you're going to use that, just come over here to your campaign, create your links to your buy opportunity pages, to your shopping carts, whatever, and then just copy and paste this link into your email. You are good to go.
Right, and I do want to mention that a lot of people are kind of freaky about, oh, it says instant customer, blah, 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 blah.
So I was just saying, now this white labels it right off the bat.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, if you're interested in any kind of white labeling, this solves that problem for you. You don't have to buy into Bitly or anything else. It's all incorporated in here. Brand new feature, really excited about it. So far it's been dead on. I'd say use it right out of the gate.
Awesome. Thanks for showing us that, Rick. Going back to my screen. So there's a tip of the week, short links. Use them. Hero of the week this week is...
I love this. This is the best hero of the week yet.
Thank you. It's you. It's you if you've had a conversation with a business that you want to help, if you've closed a new deal in the last 7 days, if you've thought of a new way to use an instant customer campaign. Basically, it's you, those people out there who are listening to what we're talking about and going out and doing it. Now, some people may be disappointed that I don't have a name and a picture up there, and I'll tell you why I don't. Every week we go into the member portal, and I look for people who are using our system in unique ways, or people who have gotten off the couch and gotten something done. Big or small, it doesn't matter to me. And this week, I didn't see a single new piece of information anywhere, and so what I've decided was we're going to salute everybody that was taking any effort at all.
Yeah, I totally agree. I would really like, we've had really consistent numbers for people watching these webinars, so they're obviously of use. Like I said before, any feedback you can give us, we really appreciate. We're making these for you guys. We want you guys to be successful. The more successful you are, the better, obviously, it is for us. I get a kick out of it, every time I get a call of somebody that's just closed a client or something. It's really exciting for us. So, and it's the action takers that are ruling the day in this economy right now.
Right.
So for those of you that are giving it a shot, not afraid to learn as you go. And
hey, Wayne Matthews just says that he has something in the future that he's working on. Might be a large project. Way to go, Wayne.
Yeah, no hope it flies. Make it fly.
And DJ Marshall, 3 campaigns, blah, blah, blah. Way to go, guy. All right, so I'm going to switch to our actual content for the day, which is updates to earlier episode topics. Today, we want to talk about, first off, what's changed in Instant Customer. We're going to talk about actually what changed in a lot of different places. Instant Customer, I'm going to talk a little bit about templates, and then talk about external changes, like things that Facebook has done recently that may impact campaigns you have running. So first up is new inside Instant Customer. Rick, I'm going to change it back to you. Can you stop typing?
Absolutely. Try to answer questions on the fly there. Okay, so like we said before, this new black bar across the top is probably, to me, the most effective change that we've made. Before we had those little icons on the side, it was very difficult to figure out what they did. This now we've just got them described, and there's a title of them and a pop-up subtitle across the top. So if you do need to copy, export, get your activity log, you can do it right from here. It's really easy to find now and much more convenient. This is really the same on every single tab here. I'm going to move over to the subscribers tab. I think this is probably where people use this bar the most. You know, if you want to view your active clients, if you want to view the most influential, if you have your influence scoring turned on, which you definitely should. If you need to view all, even the people that were deleted, everything like that up here. To get to your raffle button now is really easy. So it just made it easier. I think Gene said, or is going to say, that a lot of these changes were based on feedback that we were getting from you guys. We're constantly working toward making the system what you guys need it to be. I'm going to take a look at the active clients right here, because there's some changes along the same lines over here. So you've got a nice, now we're getting just more convenient with getting back to the campaigns to get into advanced client search. But something we've tried and we're going to be doing more with is this column on the far right, where before you were kind of limited to what your columns were. So we're now working and giving you more options on what you're actually seeing. So in this case, it starts off with the default of status, but let's say I wanted to check out event attendance. I can just click that, and you can say you can see that for this person, they left early on the event. You can check out their subscription methods. You can check out the global influence. Apparently, demo at Instant Customer isn't very influential yet. If you have any custom fields, it'll give you a summary of those as well. We are going to make this sortable. These are already sortable just through those. But the first step toward giving you guys more access to more information right off the top without having to dig for it. But now using a drop-down box here for actions for the whole group. So if I wanted to delete this person, create an SMS broadcast just for checkmarked, or email broadcast, it's a really good way to kind of segment your list here. Check off the ones. If you want to send a broadcast just to 3 or 4 people or 10 people, this
I use this feature a lot.
Yeah, segmenting your list or sending messages to subsets of the list is something you really need to do to leverage your list over time.
One of my favorite things to do here would be sort the list by email. So get all the ones without email addresses at the top,
100%.
And then broadcast to them saying,
100%.
hey, I forgot your email address. Can you shoot it over?
Or phone too.
Yeah, same thing.
Get the ones that don't have phone numbers and send them an email asking for their phone number, or get the ones with phone numbers and send something to them, maybe a bonus, a VIP thing, because those are, those are people that took a higher level of action taking than somebody else. At the bottom here, you've still got your options for the entire result set, which is sometimes confusing, but that just means anything that's on this page, no matter how many pages it is, if it's 4 pages of stuff, doesn't matter. Anything you do here is going to apply to the entire result set of this report here. So this is where you would export all of your, the subscribers in this, or you can do some keyword density analysis, get some KDA reports on that as well.
So I just thought of next week's tip of the week.
Write it down quick.
Where's my notepad?
I got one here. Okay, so I think those are kind of some of the major changes here just in the user interface, just making it a lot easier. There are huge upgrades to speed, and one of the major things here is we're going to more of a release system where every 2 weeks to a month we're basically putting the changes in and doing things in releases. I'm going to take a little detour here back to my home page and back to my inbox. Like we said before, the inbox is going to get some big upgrades here soon, but for right now, let's take a look at things that you're missing if you're not looking there. So the first thing is what's new for Instant Customer version 1.5, which is what we're going over now. I probably should have started with this. So what I've done here is I've given you, some of the basics and then a link to the full list. So the site is definitely faster. They've rewritten some of the user interface from the front end code, so you get a speed improvement there. More performance tracking. I'll go over it here in a sec as well, but some of your stats are coming along really nicely. Longer text messages, you've now got the ability to use multi-part SMS messages if you want to, and if you want to see the entire list, you can just click right there and you can see the whole thing. So we've got the link shortener, we've got improved navigation. What else? There's an HTML web builder finally.
We'll talk about that.
Yeah, we'll talk about that in a sec. Customized list sorting, which I just did. Additional fixes, all right here. So I'm going to be using this function of the inbox with every new release. So you can come right here, see what's new, go try it out, or just keep yourself up to date. Again, you've got your template collateral, you've got replays to the webinar link right here as well. Any bonus material or anything else is showing up in there. Which one do you want to take a look at first here, Gina? That stuff we just...
Let's go take a look at the HTML builder.
Yeah.
So HTML builder is something that a lot of people don't know about it, but they've been asking for it.
I know I've been asking for it.
Well, you and I know about it because you and I use a lot of HTML, but a lot of people are like, I want to do this, I want to do that, how can I make my lead page look like this or like that? And the solution is HTML builder. If you know HTML, do whatever you want. If you don't know HTML, hire someone and do whatever you want.
Or use the instant builder, that's what it's for. So again, we're just going to edit the campaign, go to opt-in channels, and what are we going to do? What form?
Yeah, no, go straight to lead reg.
So you now have the instant builder, which is a kind of a WYSIWYG, just make it look like.
Go ahead and open that up and show that. So if you don't know how to create a page that looks like this, you can just pick a template from the template gallery and then add your own content.
Exactly.
Now, every campaign template, not to be confused with lead page template, but every campaign template has, let me rephrase, every of the 21 ways campaign templates has a lead page already built for you. And you just make sure that you use this with the static tags when you're setting up your campaign, and all of this squirrely bracket stuff will be filled in with content.
And I'll just show you that live in a second here.
Right. But if this is not enough, if you want to rearrange your video, put your own headers in, do something crazy or not so crazy, but just different.
Right. If you need to get something up and running fast, which is one of the things we do probably better than anybody, this is the way to go. Just get it up, get it running, get people to register, and go. This is something you can offer a client to get something up and running inside of minutes. It's really impressive just to do on the fly if you want to. Now the HTML builder
gives you a clean blank slate. You can start from literally ground zero.
Yeah, it's just a blank slate right here. It does have a WYSIWYG editor, or you can just go straight into the source file. Previous versions of the program had this. Most things do. So we'll do some advanced stuff on that. Wow, but it is there. I would definitely recommend, like we always do, to create a blank campaign, go in, test it out.
Test it, play with it.
Play with it a little bit. Yeah, that's the way to go. But it is in here now. It's just been released, so it's going to go through some feedback changes depending on what you guys are seeing out there. But I do want users on it. So if you do know some HTML, please go in, do some tests on it, give me some feedback. Give us a little support ticket about what you like about it, what you don't, what's working, what doesn't. But it is there now, and definitely we're looking for.
It's also on the web form builder too. So you can create a little web form for your Facebook page or blog or whatever, and use. What? It's not there.
No, I think we're still relying on. And I'm going to go back to.
It was there over the weekend. Or I might have been looking in the test version.
Yeah, I know that it's on the lead page. I know they're at least working on it for. They're still working on it for the thank you page. We're just going to start off with the lead page, and I think they're just looking for more.
My bad, it was there over the weekend, or I was in the dev side.
I think you were on the demos on the dev server there.
Sorry, guys.
I think it's one of those things where we're going to put it on the lead page first, get some use on it, and then as soon as we've
Then
got
change
it
that.
down, then add it to the other places as well. So
Okay.
keep it on the lead page. If you do know it again, try to use it for us and let us know.
I'm going to keep a couple of questions, or pepper our talk with a couple of questions as they come in because they're pertinent.
Do it.
Jim was asking, can you import a template into the HTML builder using it as a starting point? And no. What you can do is you could copy the code from a template somewhere, but you're not able to access that from the template builder. So if there's a page that you like, you can certainly copy and paste the code into the source section of the HTML builder and then just work it through there.
Yeah, I mean, if you're that advanced, I know what I would do. I would build it in the instant builder, go into the template, go to the actual Go link, right-click, view source, copy and paste it into here. That's what I would do.
And so a bunch of questions coming in now. Dean's asking, can you use Dreamweaver? I would not use Dreamweaver on anything. It puts a lot of garbage in. Just my opinion, but I would stay away from it.
But if you're going to use, I think let's generalize that. If you're going to use an outside program to create HTML code, then you would definitely come in here, click source, and drop it straight into the source code, save it, and use it that way. Then just tweak it after that. But that would definitely be the process.
So we're getting a ton of questions on this. Let me just say that no, we don't have detailed instructions. No, there are no videos. Yes, we will make this a future topic.
Absolutely.
This is one of my favorite topics.
Yeah, for people that know how to do it, I'm sure this is something they've been waiting for.
It is an advanced topic.
It's a hugely advanced topic. I mean, I do not recommend even using the WYSIWYG if you don't know your HTML at least enough to go to W3 schools and figure something out on your own.
That,
if you can't, it's not working for you. And I only say that's because that's what I do.
So the short story here on what you can and can't do with this, because we're getting this question a lot.
But customization is a big thing.
Yeah, no, it is. I customize everything. You know that. So one of the big questions is, I already have something designed in HTML for use, blah, 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 blah. Can I use it? Sure. You know what? Copy it, paste it in, see what happens, make any adjustments you need, and you're off and running.
Totally agree, but just make sure you put it into the source code.
Yes. And
my experience with WYSIWYG editors is either use them or don't mix and match. I don't use the WYSIWYG. I use the direct source code.
I have mixed feelings on that.
Really?
Yeah.
In my experience, anytime I use source code and then go to the WYSIWYG messes.
Well, there are definite issues about it, and this is again an advanced topic.
Yeah, for sure.
So let's just say we'll deal with an advanced topic in a future webinar. For right now.
And let's stick with the recommendation we just made, which is it's here. Test it, try it, use it, and give us feedback so we can continue to tweak it and get the right training for everybody.
Right. And do it in a demo campaign that you have no pressure on, one that's for you. Don't do it on something you need tomorrow night.
Nothing mission critical, and absolutely. And what I would usually do is take a campaign that I already have and copy it.
Yeah, that's a good way to start.
And then go in and play with the copy. I mean, I do that on every single thing I do. That's where I start. And it's very easy to copy a campaign now. You just go to your campaign details page and hit copy, then rename it and play with the copy. So the copy is right there. I can, bam, all I got to do is really click that, and I already have a copy, go back in and do whatever I want with that.
Awesome. Do you have anything else that you want to show us that's new in Instant Customer? Because somebody just asked a question that walks right into one of our topics.
I see go right into it. I think those are the big things. The link shortener is huge. The HTML, the straight editor that we've got now, the better, the speed increases, and some of the navigational, especially with the bars, with the toolbar not being on the side anymore. I think those are the biggest things. We'll cover more as we go, but those are the ones I really wanted to point out.
I think those are really big, and I think they make a big difference in terms of just being able to see what button does what.
Well, usability is something that we're going to work on forever. I mean, I don't think we're ever done with that. Personally, I want to make this as easy to use.
One more
easier every day.
we got a question, and this addresses one more point that we haven't yet addressed with what you just showed. One of the cool changes that's not 100% there yet, but it should be. I didn't get to check it this morning. I was hoping it was finished last night. I'll just get right to the question. The question is, changing templates required you to re-enter all your data. Was that going to happen with the HTML builder? And here's the good news. Changing templates, if it doesn't 100% already do this, because I submitted a bug on it earlier, when you change templates, you won't lose your data.
You know, if you built it in 1.5, so and by 1.5 I mean when you go to a campaign, if you see that darker bar with the tools on it, you are in Instant Customer 1.5. If you don't see that bar, I don't even know how if you can get to 1.0 anymore.
I can't.
But if you see this black bar, you are in 1.5. If you create your campaign in 1.5, you should be able to change templates without losing your data. And it's my understanding that if it's not, that it will be that if you have a separate, you know, if you have a lead page built with the HTML builder and you have one in the Instant Builder, they don't affect each other. One doesn't wipe out the other one.
Right, they're different.
Yeah, they're completely different.
All right, so let's take advantage of that to move on back to our presentation.
Yeah, that's big. But staying on that topic, so if you have built something in 1.0, whether or not that's backward compatible, that if you change templates, it'll save. I wouldn't. I mean, I would just build. You know, I would build something new in 1.5 and trust that that's going to be. Or once make sure you test it. But
right,
that is definitely a feature, in that's that information carries over now, and that came strictly from feedback. Yours, the groups, everybody's.
I was a big proponent for that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's what's new and what's different in Instant Customer, and a little bit of news about some things that are coming soon.
Yeah, I think those, the speed difference is huge. The navigation's huge.
Right.
They fixed a lot of stuff in the recurring webinars, which is a little pre-framed for next week.
Right. Right. So moving on. Templates. There's a little bit of news in template land.
Hey, yeah, let's just stay here and go ahead.
The 21 ways, if you can pull it up, I'll switch over in a minute. The 21 ways templates have some changes. They all now have web forms and lead registration pages and thank you pages.
For somebody that doesn't know, it might be new. What are the 21 ways? Yeah, why don't you give them a little.
So 21 ways is something that was really an internal kind of designation where we were working with Mike Koenigs on some of the ways people correspond with and close deals. And Mike came up with 7 ways to get customers, 7 ways to communicate with them, 7 ways to close the deal. And that became what we called 21 ways. I'm going to switch over to Rick right now. And
yeah, I'm trying to get this too.
In the template gallery, you can search and sort templates by category. And one of the categories is 21 ways. And if you select 21 ways, what you should see.
Yeah,
we're not doing it right now, but we're having a bad connection.
Yeah, I'm having a bad connection.
So just scroll a little bit on the top and you'll see them. So here they are.
Yeah, there we go.
The 21 ways templates all start with a little hashtag and a number. And I know that we talk about there being 21 ways. There are technically 20 campaigns that outline this. One campaign wasn't really a campaign, it was just a method. So if you take a look at your template gallery, anything that starts with a pound sign and a number is what we refer to as 21 ways campaign. And they are specifically targeting certain actions.
Yeah, let me get to.
So scrolling over like this, number 3 is about building lists for an event. Number 4 is about using that receipt scraper for selling books.
Previous
Number
webinar.
5, trade show, etc. You can figure out what they are just from the descriptions and the things
so
we've got there.
Really what they are is each campaign is highlighting a different tool or a different strategy.
Or a different strategy,
using
exactly.
instant customer. So
Exactly.
if
And so
you-
they are very topic specific.
very much.
So if you're trying to do some kind of a trade show and you start with number 4, you get more work cut out for you. But the addition here is that previously they were campaigns only, and now they are campaigns with lead pages, thank you pages, and web forms.
Right. So, and they are generalized. So obviously you're going to have to go in and edit them to be specific for your client, your situation, things like that.
Right.
So you're going to want to test them and make whatever changes you need. But they all do use, and you can see that how many autoresponders are in there, how many days of a drip campaign that they are.
And you can see what kind of messages they have too. The little icons are email,
Right.
SMS, or voice.
Exactly.
And coming soon, this is part of our news, postcards will be back out there.
Absolutely. The tests have been good.
And some more campaign news. I'm about to release a bunch of new niche templates. So
Nice. Anything that's red hot that
well, I need for a few more things to be stabilized in our new changes that are coming out in the next couple days or the next week or so. And then when those happen, you're going to start to see a flood of templates. It will bring our template count up to 161 by the time we're done.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
just so everybody knows, the 21 ways are available to everyone in the system.
Yeah.
Some of the other things do depend on your level. If
Niche campaigns are definitely available only to premium,
premium, so
or platinum and above.
platinum level and above, special packages, things
Special
like that.
packages, Mojo had them.
Most of the time, you'll be able to see them here, and that if you want to upgrade, it'll ask if you want to upgrade
Right.
to get them. The,
Yeah, you can
what I
always
call
see
niche
them.
template.
And if you're not, like if you're a gold or silver member, you can always see them and you can upgrade to get them and use
Right,
them.
and the fact is, using any one of those is going to be more than worth any kind of upgrade you're going to do.
And these come with lots of cool extra stuff.
Yeah, I mean, the amount of work that you've put into them is ridiculous. Can't give all those away to everybody. But even the work that we put into the 21 ways, and really, I mean, that's what I would say is use one of those, either the easy start or one of the easy 21 ways. And then if you've got a specific client that's in one of the niches, like you could see the tax attorney one right there.
Right.
Sometimes you'll see other.
We
You
have
might
some
see other
really cool things
templates that
coming
maybe
up.
if you were in the Mojo U or
Auto body, auto maintenance,
right.
B&B,
But for some of the other special packages, maybe if it was a real estate type of package that might
bunch
sold
of real
somewhere,
estate things
there
coming
are
up.
other things that
Carpet
you may or may
cleaners.
not have access to. So
We have some really interesting things, alternative medicines, a lot of healthcare like chiropractor, podiatrist, optometrist, just about everything you can imagine.
okay, so basically the autoresponders are set up with basic messages
Yep.
for that particular industry. Again, that you have to just kind of manage for your specific client, your specific client's voice, but it gives you a head start on all of this. And now that they have lead pages attached to them too, I mean, literally 10 minutes, you could run through one of these template wizards and you have something
Have a business completely set up with a web
Yeah.
page and everything.
certainly set up enough to do a demo, to do a
Oh,
presentation.
it's absolutely set up
and then let
more
them
than
know that
enough
you-
for a demo.
Exactly, and then
You
just
could
let
just
them
turn around
know.
and resell it.
Yeah, and then they can
Right.
they can give you whatever changes or updates they want to, and bam,
Right.
you're just ready to go.
So a couple of quick questions that are coming in that are pertinent to this section. Somebody was asking if you already have one of these templates and now there's web forms available, does that mean that these templates I've already set up, these campaigns I've already set, have those web templates available, meaning the lead page and the web form page? And the answer to that is no. If
Yeah,
you've
there'd be
already
no
had
way to
set
update
something up,
those dynamics.
yeah, you have to download it again, and your new ones will have them ready to go.
Yeah, I think it's probably worth the 10 minutes it takes to.
Yeah. Well,
Or you could do what we were talking about. You can copy and paste it.
yeah, just copy and paste.
It's not gonna be that.
And then another question was, sorry, I lost that question. All right, well, we'll move on
Great.
and get back to it. I'm going to take control away.
Take it.
You know me, I like to take control away.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so back to templates. That's with our 21 ways and new campaigns on the way. One thing we didn't really talk a whole lot about is how to find what you want in the template gallery. And we're having some connection issues here at the office, so I'm just going to tell you how to do it. Go to the template gallery and type in whatever it is you're looking for in that little search box. As you type, it will start to pull up anything that's related. The other thing is you can use those categories at the top of the screen to sort and find things the way you want. I'm building categories for every industry that we put in there, so you can go look for everything that's health and medical, for example, or automotive, and just pull up things that way. You can also look by who it's targeted at, if the campaign is targeted for prospects or targeted for existing customers.
So I don't want to, okay, I won't answer any questions.
All right, external pages, or actually I meant to type external changes. So this is where I want to talk about things like Facebook.
Yeah, this is big. So this is, like we were saying before, things are changing constantly in this, not only this, just the economy, but in this kind of technological environment where, what's hot, when is it hot? I mean, Facebook's constantly making changes. You're constantly getting new programs like Pinterest or something like that everybody's all of a sudden going gaga over. So, Gene, why don't you tell us how the Facebook changes?
Sure.
Just a general thing, and then maybe some specific strategies that you've had to
Here's some general
adapt.
things. If you have a business fan page on Facebook and you haven't looked at it in a week, next time you go look at it, it's going to look different. Because Friday night, Facebook made a change that put all business fan pages on what they call their timeline view. The intent there is twofold. First of all, Facebook wants to get into the marketing business, and businesses were using their pages to generate likes, which is a way to market. The more likes you have, the more people would see your page, right? And businesses were also using their header images to say things like my page, or do a reveal tab.
So what they call a like gate.
Or a like gate, exactly. You can't get in until you like the page. Or a friend gate, you can't get in until there's so many friends on the page. Or so there are a lot of things that businesses were doing to help market their page and promote their awareness on Facebook. Well, Facebook wants to do paid advertising, and they're trying to monetize their business that way.
Yeah,
so they shut down all of that, and they made it more of a challenge for a business to use Facebook to market without paying Facebook. So the changes include things like on your header image, you can no longer say things like me. And if you do, Facebook will shut your page down. So you don't want to be doing that. They took away sort of the like gating.
Yeah, I know you were saying you thought they were totally going to take it away, but that kind of hasn't been the case. Is that correct?
So I'm going to actually show something. And give me a second here to get this page up. Sorry, I'm typing like an elephant.
Yeah, yell at me for it. And then go
I know, no, I'm sorry. It's totally what I wanted to do, sorry. Give me 1 second, I gotta pull up a business page. This is always the hard part, like, to remember who I can do this to.
Well, so this guy's got to go a long way toward how people are managing their page. I mean, if you're having somebody manage your Facebook page for you, I mean, these are the kind of questions you need to be asking to see whether or not they're keeping up, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so some of the things that, this is a crappy one, sorry. Some of the things that you...
Well, because this is the perfect question. He says he's got a like generator on a Facebook page. Does he need to take it down, or is it somehow being blocked?
Well,
what is the actual...
I'm going to show you one,
okay,
and I'll show you what you can and can't do. But first, let me get to one that has a good image. Okay, this one does. And let me hide the administrative panel. Okay, so about to switch my view over. Show you mine. There. So you should now see Urban Plate's Facebook page. Now, nice big image. Those
That's
are awesome.
what they call a cover image, right? Cover
Right.
photo or something like that.
You get one cover photo per page. And if I scroll down here, you can see that you have multiple pages. Now, we're still in transition for these guys, so we don't have everything set. But one image that you can use on all your pages is the cover page. That cover image cannot include directions. It can't be a major marketing push. It can have your name on it. You can say other things like that, but you can't say things like us. You can't do any of that here, or they'll shut your page down. You can, however, still have, and here's where I say we're getting into a transition phase with this particular page. We have to change up the graphics here. This is still, it's going to look a little bit different right now from what it would if you went on there yourself, because I'm an admin of this page. But you can still use a like gate. So if I hadn't liked this page, I'd see their old like page. If I had already liked their page, I see something different. No, I'm sorry, I said like gate. What I mean is reveal tab. So you can still use
Right.
a hidden page that shows differently if people have liked it. And in the bottom of that page, in the content area of that page, you can probably give instruction. And I say probably because Facebook was very specific and they talked only about the header image. They didn't say you couldn't mention it in the body of your page.
Okay.
So I'm running the gamble and I'm going to do it with my clients. And the reason I'm running the gamble is because I checked all the big name brands I could find, and every single one of them has a reveal tab somewhere on their pages.
Okay, so, but are you stuck with this being your gateway? That
Yep.
no matter how they go, they're going to come to this sort of timeline first.
Exactly. And in that respect, that's why like gates are gone. It's
That's
not,
that's to me that's the biggest thing is you used to be able to choose what page somebody hit,
and you can't do that anymore.
and you can't do that anymore. So that's
you
really
can-
so where are you putting it? Is
You
the
can
question.
choose what pages are showing up down here. So you can make an offer that shows up here. For example, on this page, what we're going to do is we're going to have
you've
a
gotta put
VIP club. And on that VIP club, you will be able to opt in using one of the forms that we have from their instant customer campaign.
Okay, so you still can't do it. You're just going to have to somehow leverage one of these top images right there. Well, not the top, but that second level of images.
Yeah, well, you can't leverage those images, but you can. What will show up in those little boxes are the images that you show up on the page. Unless you don't have an image on the page, and then you'll end up with the default image or the profile image, which is why we're seeing those little up
But can you
images.
put an image there that says, you said VIP club, how much leverage,
Yep.
how much,
Exactly what we're going to do.
That's
We're
what
gonna
you're
put
going
an image
to
on
do.
the page. It says join our VIP or become a VIP, and then when you click on that box, you'll go to that page that has an opt-in form in it.
and then you're saying you have control over that page as to whether somebody has liked it or not,
No,
or no.
if they have liked your site, you can show them one thing. If they have not liked your site, you can show them something else.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were saying that you have control over whether they like that page or not.
No, over what is shown,
Yes.
whether or not they have liked.
Yeah, and so what the strategy is there is to, I use an app that lets you basically build an application and show one page or another.
So, I mean, this is Dave's got a great question here. He's asking then if you're using Facebook ads, can you give a URL directly to your page with the,
Yeah, use the
With-
bit.ly. I mean, the little
Oh, you
URL
can.
shortener.
so you really, you can take people straight to the form, to your opt-in form, if you're using a link from somewhere else. It's only if they just come to your Facebook page through Facebook, like a search, that
Right.
they're going to come to your home, to that original page.
See,
Is
the
that what you're saying?
pages still have a URL,
Right.
but this is because I built an application in Facebook and assigned it to this page. So this has a different URL. Yeah. And again, this is a really advanced topic. All I wanted people to be aware of is that if you have a web form or a lead gen form that you're hosting someplace else, you need to be vigilantly aware of the changes that happen to that site. I've
Oh.
seen this happen a lot of time where people put their things up on Facebook and Facebook makes a change and those things go away and they're like, suddenly nobody's paying attention or signing up through Facebook. Well,
Okay.
you
So,
need to
I
go
mean,
back and,
and we're also getting some
Make
questions
adjustments.
about the light generator. Now, the light generator is a traffic geyser product.
right.
You can use an instant customer form with it. You're not tied to that. It is the easiest way.
I don't think the light generator is going to work anymore.
Well, in this case, the light generator is still going to go to that other page. It's not going to go. It never went to your home page. It went to an app.
Oh, right. So we're
site
building an
page.
app with that.
But the only difference is you can no longer set that the page that the light generator lives on, which is an application page. You can't set that as the home page.
Right.
You're
And-
going to have to put it one of those other things up on top and get them to click to go to it.
Well, so you never could set it as your homepage. You could set it as your default,
Right.
but it was not your homepage.
Well, yeah,
so
that's
by
what I meant.
default,
But what I mean,
it's
the
just going to
page,
show up someplace else.
right? But you could use one by homepage. I mean, where
Where
when
you
you went
start,
to your
yeah.
where people would
And
start.
so
right.
The reason I left this page the way it is right now, it needs to desperately be changed after this meeting. The reason I left this as it is right now is because I wanted to point out the changes and the implications that has. Now, if you look at
Right.
this, I'm going to look at it as non-fan, right? If you were a non-fan, and this used to make sense. This little green arrow
Right.
used to point to the like button, and
Yeah,
now
no, it
it does not. And if you're already a fan, this little arrow used to point to all the other pages, which again makes no sense because they're not there anymore.
Right, but on this page, you can still say, if you want to join our club, click the like or not.
Yeah, so what this
Can't
page
do it
is,
here.
this page is actually going to have a form built in. And the other cool thing is that these pages are now almost twice as wide. So you have a lot more real estate.
Right. It's just getting people to here. You've got to look at how that page is showing up on that second line and make something there that pushes them to that.
You need to be creative and you need
Yeah.
to give people a reason, as you always do, to get somewhere, to go somewhere.
Yeah, there's your. I mean, right there. So what's going to be in one of those?
This will be become
Like
a
the
VIP.
welcome, and it's you got to stick some
Welcome's
sort
going
of
to go away. It's going to
ethical
be
bribe right there, right?
you can put an ethical bribe.
You can't put it. I know that. You know
Yes.
you. I know that's what you're going to do.
I'll show
There's
you
some
one that
people.
does that.
Hey, Susan. There's people that want to know what program you use to do yours, but yours is some sort of.
I
Yeah,
kind of code it myself, really. I use something called Woobox because it's not branded and it's free, and then I just code it myself.
All right.
So here's one that I wanted to show you. Tropicana, big brand. See right here? Click here.
That's it. That's
Sweepstakes.
exactly what I was talking about.
Exactly.
That's exactly.
could click there.
There it is. And then that would be your Lightgate Fusion page. So you do have choices of which of those pages, right?
Yep.
Okay.
And so theirs is going super slow, but look it, they have a reveal gate. If you like it, then you get to see what's underneath, which
That's
is the way to
exactly
get into
so.
their
That's
contest.
exactly like the ones we used to have. So the only difference is you can't put that as a default. You've got to put this kind of picture, some
Well,
sort
two
of.
things I'll tell you about this page. This is their old like gate, and it no longer works. Because if I click this start picking here to get into their contest, I can end up in an endless loop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so they haven't paid attention to it yet either.
So once again, when something changes, man, you got
Gotta pay attention to
test.
Right, right. Which
Model
is
and test.
exactly why I wanted to bring that up.
Fantastic. So really good. So that's good. So we've got new things for you to check out on your Facebook.
Yep.
That bit link that we talked about earlier,
Yep.
perfect for Twitter.
Yep.
That little link shortener that we talked about. So you've got two new strategies for social media. I think those are the main. People need to start with that, get that worked out, and then if you've got anything new for us over the next
Actually, do
couple
have
of
something else.
Good.
But on your screen, can you pull up those 2 emails that we got in response to your question earlier for questions? So one of the things I was going to bring out was about QR codes. And somebody wrote us in with a question that I wanted to address today.
Oh, the specific one. Yeah.
Yep. So give us a second while we pull that one up because my screen's in use. Some more questions. Where can I go to get Facebook changes? Mark, Google it. There's a billion sites right now talking about Facebook changes. Yeah, this is the one. Okay, so Sean up in Canada was asking, what are all the different ways you could use a QR code? And I thought this was an awesome idea. And since we briefly touched on QR codes when we were looking at the little shortened links, that we'd address it now. Sean, put it everywhere. Everywhere. Shirts, cars, doors, windows, stationery, business cards, pens, every invoices, signs. Did I miss anything? Yes, sides of buildings. I've seen them on sidewalks, which are awesome. And one of the reasons I wanted to bring this up today is because just this afternoon, I read a really interesting article from a marketing expert who was saying QR codes are basically a waste of time and they're dead. And let me address what he was saying. And he started with information from last summer. And he said basically that 6% or less of people are scanning them at all. And that trend maintains even with a tech-savvy, hypno, young generation. But I disagree. I think that while the trend last year was slow and people were slow to adopt, I do think that more and more people are going to be using them and they're aware of them. And the greater awareness you have, the more people will just be curious and want to scan it. That said, use them wisely. Use them to get people into your campaign or use them to direct people to a sales page. Don't just direct them off to your website.
I think you hit it right there. And Rick has a question as well. And I think that 6% is going to go up for this exact reason that you're talking about here. As the smartphones get smarter, especially with video, as we move more into HTML5 and we get away from Flash, and we get it to where every phone can click a QR code and go straight to a video, that's when everybody will do it.
I agree, and they're very effective if you use them to direct somebody straight to a video.
Exactly.
Or like I use them to get people right into my campaign by sending a text message so that they don't have to know what to type or what number or any code. It just gets them into the campaign.
You could pre-frame that, especially with the short code and a keyword.
Exactly.
That's the easiest way.
That's exactly how I use it.
That's how you use it, because you get it in, because you can't really access anybody's personal information off something like that.
Now, Clint mentions that he saw one on a billboard. I actually have a client who I told him to put it on his billboard, and he did get some hot leads from that.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where sometimes the goofier place it is, people are more, what do you mean? I can scan the billboard? And yeah, if it's big enough.
Well, so this is what I say about awareness, right? If people are aware of what a QR code is and what it can potentially do, they'll just start scanning every time they see one. I do it. I walk around with my phone, and anytime I see a QR code, I'm like, where did they go? And I scan it, and I'm like, oh, bad marketing. Or more delightfully, I scan it, and I go, sweet, I'm going to copy that. So be aware of where you're sending people with a QR code and use them on absolutely everything.
What do you think of...
Yeah, so David is asking, and Duncan was asking, other people were asking.
Colors on QR codes.
I
and branding
customize my
way.
QR codes.
Really?
And you can make them really beautiful, and you can even distort up to 20% of that QR image without distorting where it goes. And so you can make some really awesome. Have you seen Kyle's, by the way?
I have no.
He's got his profile image kind of shaded behind it. It's totally cool.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can do a lot of really cool things with QR. I have mixed feelings on it. Part of me says that's awesome and cool, go ahead and do it, you can brand it and make it cool. The other part of me says you do too much of that, people are not going to recognize that it's a QR code. So I think until people are universally understanding of them, it sometimes gets you better rates if you just leave them plain. Or if you color code them a little bit and don't go crazy.
Yeah, I think a lot of this, because it's, you say that, that the under 10%. I think some of this has to do with results and some of it has to do with pleasing a client. I think you've got to walk that line a lot. I think... your clients rely to you for your experience and your expertise. And if you tell your client, look, I would love to give you a shaded red QR code on your red shirt, but I'll tell you what, it's not going to work.
what are they going to do? Say, do it anyways? Great. And then you know what?
Say, yeah,
It's not going to work.
And again,
Do it for 'em.
walk into their office with a cool color-coded one and it knocks their socks off and it gets you the deal. Go for it.
100% agree with you. Now, somebody's asking too, have I seen any on T-shirts?
You used them on T-shirts. This is one of our first webinars. You recommended it.
One of my customers did everything I said about a trade show, pulled in 1,200 people on a list right now, and he had them on T-shirts, he had them on signs, he had them on banners.
He's
the guy who also did the billboard.
If that's what it's, but if it takes something goofy like a colored one to get somebody interested enough to get engaged in their own campaign, get excited about it.
I'm going to go back to the thing we say all the time, which is what? Test it.
Test it.
Because you can make it as pretty as you want,
right.
But if it doesn't scan and go to the right place,
test. And like I say all the time, all marketing is in some ways test marketing. You're always trying to figure out what's going to do better or worse or whatever. So I see no reason not to give it a shot.
So people are saying things like, oh, QR codes only work on the back of a T-shirt. Not true. They'll work anywhere, but please be sensitive to who might be wearing them and how they might be wearing them. Had somebody that I know that put one towards the bottom of the T-shirt, but everybody tucked their T-shirt in.
Yeah,
on the sleeve or shoulder, they work awesome.
Yeah.
On the back, they're awesome because you can be walking around and people will be drawn to that, trying to figure out what it's about and trying to scan it slide.
Yeah, I'm guessing there's plenty of reason to put them on the front in certain situations.
And
test it out, try it out, and then continue to do what works for sure.
Right.
All right, let's move on.
All right, moving on.
People love talking about the QR.
I know. I think that's going to be a topic I just wrote.
I know. We'll have to do a whole hour.
All right. So, summary. And we're at that time, too.
Yeah, perfect. So, changes to Instant Customer. Again, look in your inbox for the complete list of updates for what we're calling Instant Customer 1.5. We showed you some the better toolbars, the bitlink shortener, changes to your active subscriber list, and again, next week we're going to go through a lot of the improvements in recurring webinars.
Right, and so another thing to note that's important, changes are based on feedback. So if you see something 100%. And it's not working, let us know.
Yeah, I sent you guys an email earlier today asking for questions that we haven't covered. Please respond to that. We'd love to hear it, and that does help us, make the next webinar.
And yeah, thanks. So next up, test everything before you need it. Absolutely. There's no excuse for a midnight email to support that says, I need this at 6 a.m. And you're not going to get a response on that. So test it before you need it.
Absolutely. And if you get pressured to do something on the fly, even if it's not 100%, you're still going to get some results. Take all the results you can get.
Yeah. And keep up on the rules where your forums live. Facebook's not the only one that changes things without warning. Google Plus does it. Lots of sites do it.
Yeah, I think you've got to have some sort of schedule for checking in on either things that you're doing, programs you're working with, people that are managing programs you're working with. You've got to have some sort of schedule. You can't rely on just keeping all this in your head.
Yeah,
it doesn't make any sense.
Check in on the user forums too, because that's usually where they post things or notes to changes.
Yeah, 100%.
And finally, my favorite, Rick's favorite rule.
Yeah, definitely my favorite. You're always looking for how you're going to engage your audience. Asking people for feedback, getting questions, really any creative. We've used two ways we've done today. One, using Instant Customer to send a broadcast that accepted replies. Now, when I did that, I sent out the broadcast. I had all the replies routed to my Instant Customer email, so we got them directly. Obviously, we're taking questions as we go on the webcast.
Right.
Keep people involved, keep people engaged, keep trying new things, and test the heck out of everything and focus on results.
And have some fun.
Oh my God, yes. How can you not have fun with all the stuff that?
Wait till I tell you about my my 2 new campaigns.
All right.
I'll be able to give you some more information in 2 weeks, but they're really, really, really fun.
So here she's going straight off the Orin Claff stuff. She's giving you guys a little intrigue and a little novel.
Come on, it's my signature.
I know, I love it.
All right, some special offers.
So our special offers for the day, I can't believe Cross-Channel Mojo is still available. Now we're into module 8 of the 9 modules for the first round of it.
That's right, live event coming up too.
Live events coming up in
May 11th through 13th.
May 11th through 13th, so you can still get in on that. Obviously, you can still go back and get any of the other modules. It's all there. You still have access to the people for office hours. So if you don't even know what Cross-Channel Mojo is, we showed you a couple of the templates that only they get. But Cross-Channel Mojo is really a comprehensive mentoring and training program based on actual boots on the ground successful campaigns that people that created them turned into templates and do the training on them. So you're working directly with successful users of Instant Customer over the last year. You can find out more about that at www.crosschannelmojo.com/web. I really, really recommend, if you're interested, to check it out now so you can get in on the last couple of live ones, live modules, and get to that live event. The networking and the direct access to successful users is your fastest track to success in this business.
There are a lot of really, really awesome relationships that are built at these live events. I've built a couple myself with partners.
I met this girl named Jean Scally. She's really
You
good.
did not meet me there. We shared a table. That was it.
I know.
Okay. People are asking, is Cross-Channel Mojo going to launch again? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
I know that
somebody else is asking, do you know that May 13th is Mother's Day? Yes, bring your mom. It's an awesome way to introduce her to some awesome people.
getting the people around you excited about what you're doing is huge.
If you're a Cross-Channel Mojo person, you got 2 tickets to the show, right? I think it was
I think you just
2 seats.
I think you just have to put down a deposit.
A deposit, right?
At the thing.
100% refundable if you show up.
We're in San Diego in
Who
spring.
doesn't want to come here? I know.
You're not going to bring somebody to San Diego in the spring. Come on, that's like how could it be
70 sunny, clear sky degrees today. Take that if you're in Minnesota.
Yeah, take that.
Or Canada.
If you need an excuse to come out here, and
Tax
you can
deductible.
combine that with a reason, then that's really
Yeah. So not sure if Cross-Channel Mojo is going to launch again, but highly encourage you to get in while you can. And
at least go there and check it out.
get in before the live
See
event so you can take advantage of that. And at the live event, there will be also additional training and hot seats and panels and all kinds of really fun stuff.
I believe you're going to be on stage for that.
I believe I will.
Okay, I'm going to go to the bottom here. If you're having trouble getting traffic to your site, our sister company, Traffic Geyser, that is what they are all about, using video and blog posting and articles. Basically, you can upload videos, get those transcribed, get those pushed out to video, blog, and article sites to get traffic to your page. And that page can, of course, have an instant customer form on it where you can capture and follow up with those leads and close sales on that. You can get a 21-day trial to Traffic Geyser at www.trafficgeyser.com/21days/web. And if you're brand new to all of this and you want a comprehensive package of Traffic Geyser and Instant Customer that's connected, that is Main Street Marketing Machines 2.0, we call Fusion. You can find out more about that at www.mainstreetmarketingmachines.com/web.
Awesome. Guess what we're doing next week, Rick?
I would love to know what we're doing next week.
Recurring events.
Recurring events.
AKA webinars.
Yeah, evergreen webinars, okay? This is really big. We're going to be going over ideas for all businesses. Really what we're going to be going over is why you would want to schedule events rather than put them on demand, which is huge. How to, double or triple your attendance to these using not only email, but SMS reminders. The connection of the reminders with a scheduled webinar is humongous. How to capture leads and get people to choose a specific date and time.
Get some great strategies on that.
Right.
And some colossal missteps that people might have made trying to get that together.
Right, but they have in one of the really nice.
Give it away yet?
What?
Go ahead.
I'm just going to say one of the really nice improvements in 1.5 is it's completely fixed now where if you have recurring webinars, people do get pinned to a time where you can send post-event messages to them based on their action at the event. So if somebody left early, you can send them messages
I love
you know,
that
more
feature.
than just the half an hour from that you
Right.
could before they finally got that straightened out. So the pre-event, event, and post-event features of our recurring webinar uh, uh, feature here is really powerful. It works, and man, this is a set it and forget it type of a thing.
Right. And I believe that wraps up
Yep.
10 minutes late our webinar for today. So thanks everybody for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And thank you, Rick. And we'll see you all next week.
See you guys next week.
Bye.